who's the best shooter in VR? Hello there, Regil here. With the absence of AAA studios developing multiplayer FPS or shooters in VR, these are the top choices we have so far for your Oculus Quest headsets. The only consideration I made here is that the game should be played in the standalone Quest headset without the need for gaming PC or gaming laptop. But before we jump into the action, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by just clicking on that red big subscribe button just below my video. So don't forget, just click and subscribe. It would help me a lot. Let's start off with Population 1, which is my first ever purchase for a multiplayer FPS or shooter in the VR. And I'm surprised by the quality of game they did here, which you will not expect to run in an ARM mobile CPU. The long time it was in beta really paid off, where there is little to no dizziness in the VR game despite of you running, climbing, and gliding. It only has one map, but man, it is a whole city and extremely enormous compared to other VR games. This game is a battle royale that will put you in a group of 3 individuals versus 5 other groups, where you shoot it out until one group is left. Which brings me to my question of why is it Population 1? It should have been Population 3 or Population 1 group, right? There is also a solo mode to hone your skills where you can battle NPCs, but it's not as fun as real players. The color and game style will remind you of Fortnite. Population 1 currently sells at $29.99 at your Quest store. Next is Onward, which I have been very fond of recently. It is a military simulation or milsim FPS game, which means there are no crosshairs, no minimap, no shield nor health drinks, limited ammo, and you can die easily. The gameplay here is close to realism and needs to be tactical, which means it is slow-paced and heavily relies on teamwork. Unlike Population 1, there are multiple maps to explore in this game with objectives such as control of areas, VIP extraction, and code upload. You can also play solo or co-op versus AI to either hunt or extract. Maximum player count is 10 for every game. The texture, however, will tell you how old this game is compared to Population 1 or Contractors. And I hope they release a free update that would upgrade the textures, like what the other old games are doing recently. This will remind you of Arma or even Rainbow Six Siege on some of the gameplays. Or, if you are old enough, Delta Force back in the 90s. Onward currently sells at $24.99 at your Quest store. The newest multiplayer FPS game here in VR or here in Quest is Contractors. I'm also impressed by the quality it brought if you play it in a standalone Quest 2 headset. The game is more fast-paced than Onward, with game modes as player versus player up to 10 individuals, control or domination with life respawns, 4-person co-op, and extraction. Their highlight is the amount of guns you can use, which currently totals to 30, from World War II era weapons to the present. Although your ammo is limited, there are crates scattered across the map to refill. They also have a jump and slick slide movement to up the ante. If Onward is slow and realistic, while Population 1 is fast and cartoonish, Contractors sits at the middle, focusing on action, where gameplay is similar to Call of Duty or Battlefield. Contractors currently sells at $19.99 at your Quest store. Solaris Offworld Combat is the most unique amongst the 3 that I've previously mentioned. Apart from the futuristic environment you play in, this game is designed for sports in 4 versus 4 setup where you battle to control an area. The setting and feel is like Echo Arena, but instead of flying saucers, in weightless space, you have guns with gravity in space. The gameplay is definitely fast-paced that drops you in an arena where you run, sprint, and slide. It currently has 7 maps to play at, with multiple utilities you can pick up during the game, like shields, etc. The feel and pace of the game reminds me of Quake Arena or Unreal Tournament, Solaris currently sells at $24.99 at the Quest store. As a bonus, if you're using side quests, you can also try Pavlov Shack, which is like Counter-Strike. The maps here are as small as Counter-Strike and definitely inspired by it. Players will be either counter-terrorist or terrorist. In the main menu, the user interface is not that friendly, like simple changing of your name apart from Lil Peep is too complex. And finding a specific hosted game is almost impossible. Hyperdash is another game in SideQuest, which I think is an alternative to Solaris Offworld Combat. The good news is they're all free at SideQuest, and you'll just need a laptop or a PC, even a non-gaming PC, to connect it and just install. How about the question of who has the most number of player base? Since we're talking about multiplayer, I haven't had issues finding players in Population 1, Contractors, or Onward, and I think it's because they're fairly new. I'm not that lucky though with Solaris Offworld Combat. Pavlov Shack and Hyperdash, although lower count, has a pretty decent number of players, where you'll find no issues in finding hosted games. So who gives the best bang for the buck? Population 1 at around $30. I think it's worth it, given that the quality itself is really good compared to other VR games. Contractors at around $20 is also good. They placed it in a very good price. As for Onward and Solaris Offworld Combat at around $25, I think they should put it on a lower pricing, and maybe a lot lower than Contractors. I would suggest that you get them on sale. So, in summary, Population 1 is Fortnite, Contractors is Call of Duty, Onward is Arma, Pavlov Shack is Counter-Strike, Solaris Offworld Combat, and Hyperdash is Unreal Tournament. There's really no straight answer on which is the best, as it would be dependent on your taste. I've tried them all, and usually I play depending on my mood. Sometimes you feel like realistic and maybe play Onward. Sometimes you just want to have fun and just play Population 1. Sometimes you like it fast-paced action like Contractors. And sometimes you just want to relax, which I think would be another topic and another episode. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do so by clicking on that red subscribe big button down below.